Welcome back to the KickNPost YouTube channel and podcast with your host Amal Thompson and Chris Perry. Today we hop into some of those prospects that aren't getting as much love. You know, we've been knocking these player profiles out recently, and we got a guy who he even flew under the radar for me. I can't lie. 5'10", out of Illinois, fifth-year senior, Chase Brown. Chris, this is your boy. Introduce the guys to him.
Chase Brown is like this one of the sneakiest picks I think could come out of this year, just because probably until this video you've probably never heard of him. I just heard about him a couple weeks ago. I've been studying his film, and I don't know how I haven't heard of him sooner, honestly. Like, he is disgusting on every level.
I won't lie. I have question marks after watching the film and diving into the stats. So he wasn't, I'd say, fantastic prospect coming out of high school. He's a guy who's kind of matured into his body. Like I said, fifth-year senior. He started his career at Western Michigan. Didn't get much love there. And then his sophomore year while he was at Illinois, didn't get much love there. And I think he actually missed most of the season of his third year with either injury or he had to sit out or something. Maybe it was a redshirt season. But he only played like 20 snaps. But everything past that, after he really got his grown man body, fourth year, fifth year, boy took off. We're talking over 300 carries his senior year. At 5'10", 210, that's great size for a running back. Not to mention, again, ran sub 4.5, 40. That's similar to Bijan. Obviously, Bijan did it like 6 foot, 220. You know, not to bring that boy back up. But 5'10", 210, 5'10", 210, 4.4, 340. Great three-cone drill, 25 bench press reps. He's kind of an athlete, to say the least. There's questions to be asked about his pass blocking. There's questions to be asked again about receiving. I think his entire college career he had 30 catches. Not the greatest, you know, especially in this game now where running backs are expected to play multiple roles. And at 5'10", he's not undersized, but I'm going to need him to do a little bit of pass catching for me, or at least be a solid pass blocker. And that's probably why you haven't heard much about him, because even though he's a downhill runner, very smart, has great vision, great acceleration too, great burst. He doesn't give you those intangibles yet, but I think he's just a hard worker. And I have some very fun landing spots for this man too. And when you're talking day 2, day 3 of the draft, that's even more beneficial, because teams that are picking back there, they're picking one with more. How do I put it? It's usually going to be a little bit of a better team picking back there. Like day 1 early pick, you know what you're looking at. Teams that were bad. You're looking probably in like the contender realm if he's day 2, day 3, and able to go later in those rounds, which I project him late second round, early third round pick. There's a certain team that's given their running back permission to go talk to people. I'm not saying Chase Brown is Austin Eckler.
Oh.
I'm not saying that.
Oh.
But could I see him in a Charger uniform? I think he fits. I think he fits in a Charger uniform.
Yeah, the Chargers like mixed running backs. I think that checks that box.
Gosh. Technically, yeah. They like the beige running backs for sure. I, for one, think if we fit him in and slide him into a team again with a great offense, that would be good. But I don't mind seeing him grind it out on a team that he would have to, you know, be the focal point. I think he's a good enough athlete that he could really be kind of a, you know, a utility type player for a team. I could see him landing with Seattle Seahawks behind Ken Walker. He would be a great compliment to Ken Walker. I could see him landing on, say, Tampa.
Yeah.
You know, in that backfield. Rachaad White's kind of tall and lanky. You use the 5'10", 210 guy who has great vision to be your predominant runner. I will say Rachaad White has been quite underwhelming as a running back. From the sheer term running back, I think he's a good receiving back, but not a great running back. And that thing that Chase strives at is that vision and that nimble ability. So really sneaky guy that not many people are talking about. I do see him in a couple people's top 10 running back prospect list. Usually at the back half, like the 6-7 range in terms of running backs. But I'm excited that I even, got put on to this guy's film and put on to this guy's tape, because He gives me a lot of the things I like to see in a running back. What are some of your favorite landing spots for this guy?
Honestly, Cincinnati, man. Like I know we need a running back. We get it late. Come on, baby, we need you. But I think he's gonna have to be in a system where he's not obviously not like the highlight. Like last year, you saw how Damian Pierce was. He looked like the best player on the Texans offense and did some damage until damage was done to him. So as long as he can not take a full workload, of course, you got a second round, third round guy. Like second rounders, especially at running back, do end up starting in most cases, but I don't think he will flourish that much straight into the league like that. Like the biggest thing I like about Chase is he has a nasty one cut. Like he'll just set you up one move and he's out of there. Like he's running so hard that you have to commit to it because if you don't, you're probably gonna get stiff armed into the ground or ran over, either or. So I think with that in mind, of course you want like a strong line like Philly, like those cutback lanes are magnificent. That's why I said Cincinnati because if you watch Joe Mixon's highlights, a lot of his are just cutback lanes. Like you see the line moving one way, he comes back right across, and from the highlights that you can see, like Chase is gonna eat off that. Very hard runner, like you said, big guy. So I don't think he has to be put into too many systems to flourish, but he will need like a 1A, 1B type deal, like you said, like a Ken Walker, like a, hey, even if the Chargers can keep Austin Eckler, like put him in there too for another year and just let him work behind that until he's fully ready.
My advice to anybody who's looking at the Chase Brown vid too as well, unless he lands in a landing spot that clearly needs an RB1, he will be spending majority of the season on your taxi squad.
Yeah.
Let him
Which
chill.
ain't a bad thing, you know. It's there for a
Nope.
reason. So do not
I will
elevate
put
him. I don't
people
care how
on.
desperate you get. Don't do it.
I will
Hold him
put
there.
people on. Miles Sanders was the same way, right? Came in, started off slow. Probably should have been riding your taxi squad. Didn't really get much touches. They were still forcing touches to Jordan Howard. And then at the back
Ugh.
end of the season, once Jordan Howard went down, Miles Sanders
Yuck.
opened up. You can see a very similar situation where Chase Brown is a late season, or we're not really playing for much, or we don't really need this veteran running back. Let's see what we drafted, and you
Yeah.
get some big weeks. So keep him on the taxi squad, temper expectations, which leads me to where would I spend my rookie pick. Depending on landing spot, I really fell in love with the tape. I know before we got on here I said 112. I'm going to
Crazy.
calm down a bit
Thank
because
you.
name value is everything. And I could easily go back into the second round or trade back into the second round, acquire
There you
some
go.
assets, and still get my boy Chase Brown. There's enough good running backs. Well, there's enough good running backs in this class. There's enough good tight ends in this class.
Yeah.
Wide receivers with enough, again, name value, Jordan Addison types, JSN, Quentin Johnson, Josh Downs,
Yeah, I
right?
think Downs, I
There's,
think Hyatt, I think,
yeah,
like you said, Michael Myers, they all go before Chase.
yeah,
So,
Dalton
like you said, trade
Kincaid
back.
for sure.
Just trade back.
And big buddy out of Georgia, 6'7",
Oh,
270,
Darnell?
country
Darnell's a wild
strong.
card, too. I can't wait for that video.
Yeah,
That's
he is a wild card as well. So you put all these guys ahead of, Chase, the Zach Charbonnets of the world. I
okay.
would even
No,
say
I stopped there.
no. I'm saying name value. I'm not saying better. I don't
Oh,
like
okay,
Sharps.
okay.
I'm
Okay,
saying
okay.
name value. That Zach Charbonnet will get drafted ahead of Chase Brown in most of your rookie drafts. So trade back because not many people are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm saving this 1.8 for Chase Brown. If you're not in love with what you see, move back. Same goes for the
Yeah.
next running back we're going to cover, which is my personal favorite guy to watch on film. Got a lot to say about him, but we'll save that for the next video. I say the perfect price for Chase Brown right now without knowing anything. I'm kind of leaning 2.5 to 2.7 range. How about you?
Yeah, I think that's safe because you wait any later, of course, you have the chance of missing out. But definitely look into your leagues. I know, like we're saying this as a projection, but you got to look at team structures, how many picks someone has. If someone else might reach for that guy, you might, like you said, have to take him at 112. If some guy that needs a running back only has the 2.4 and only the 2.4, it's a possibility. So
If
keep
me and
everything in
Chris are in
mind.
the league, we always have to do that too.
Yeah, like get to know your
yeah.
companions, know what they like, know what teams they're into that can benefit. So 2.5, 2.7 is the range. I agree with that, but do your homework at the same time.
If I had to tell y'all how many times me and Chris fought over Barkley last year, and ETN, and then this year already happened where we're like, I know he about to take him here. If I don't get him this round, he gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
Know the people you're playing with. Know the people you're playing with. So I'm gonna have to pay attention to where Chris wants Chase Brown at, because you gonna have to fight me for him. That's all
There's
I'm
one
saying.
league you don't even have picks in this year, so I'm not worried about you unless you trade up.
Yeah, and one that I might be for rebuild. I'm not even deciding what I'm doing with that team yet, but
Damn. Yeah.
yeah, I have no quarterbacks. Let's not even get into fantasy talk about that one. I'm literally, it's Aaron Rodgers, and that's it.
Hey, I might have something for you. You want to work something out?
Oh my gosh! Like I said, we'll save that for another video.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts on Chase Brown? I feel like this one was pretty quick, but again, we're just trying to introduce people to this guy. As things get hashed out, we get closer to draft day, which is about 24 days away. We'll
Yes, sir.
start breaking down first round draft. We'll definitely do a mock draft, split that into two picks, 1 through 16, 17 through 32. And then we might go some late round flyers as well. But yeah, Chase Brown.
Hey, watch the tape for yourself, and you'll fall in love. Like, there's no way you can't. There's too many highlights of everything that he is somewhat good at to be like, okay, I like him for this. Okay, I like him for that. So just take the time. This one's quick and easy. And eat. That's it. Do your homework, eat.
We'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.